my name's Annette Hennessy, and this video follows on from the previous video posted, which shows an ex-Portishead Town Councillor speaking as a resident in a Portishead Town Council meeting under public participation. It wasn't clear whether she was actually speaking personally or politically as an ex-town councillor, but as a resident she can only speak personally, not really politically. Her wording was bizarre and many were astounded to hear what she had to say, mainly because her protestations of innocence about the way she has conducted herself was really not appropriate because nobody had actually referred to her. Her comments weren't relevant because nobody in that meeting had mentioned her name, nobody had referenced her in any way or criticised her in any way, and as far as I'm aware that was the same for the previous meetings under the new administration. So quite why she chose that meeting to attend and make the comments she did and leave straight afterwards is still a mystery. However, having listened to her, I was trying to rack my brains as to why she would speak in the way she did. And the only way I can imagine why she did it was because somebody had mentioned that the new town councillors should seek advice from the ex-town councillors. And normally I'd say, yes, that's a good idea. The knowledge and experience of ex-councillors could help them. But it was important to make the point that new councillors should perhaps not seek advice from councillors who have not conducted themselves in an open, honest and transparent fashion. Why would you want to seek advice from somebody who you do not trust? And so perhaps speaking at the council meeting, she felt that she had to explain herself in some way, or perhaps she regretted some of her conduct or making excuses. I don't know. Who knows? But some of her wording I think is important to raise. She said, and I quote, "There is evidence and there is evidence. There is my truth and there is your truth," close quote. Video is there if you want to watch the whole of her address. Well, I beg to differ with her on the truth because as far as I'm concerned, the truth is the factual account of what has happened in any particular time frame. So those factual accounts can be evidenced in many different ways, whether that's video, audio, documentary, legislation, but you can't really have two separate accounts of the truth. The truth, the factual account, is one account, evidenced in one or more ways. Anything else can be an interpretation, but people's interpretations aren't necessarily correct, and they're certainly not truthful on many occasions. I don't really know what she was trying to say, if I'm honest. However, when she was a councillor, there were many contentious issues for which she had to be held to account, and certainly I did, and I know other people did as well. One of those issues was the public space protection orders, a proposal that was discussed at a town council meeting. But as one of her colleagues actually said at the time, he felt, and I quote, "It's a piece of paper to intimidate the public," close quote. And I think many people felt that such a decision, if brought in, would stifle discussion and would indeed intimidate those who attended meetings to discuss things. So it's ironic really that that lady in the video spoke in the way she did, which would never have been allowed under her previous council, and in fact anyone who did try to speak in that way were often stopped from speaking. And on one occasion, when a councillor was not telling the truth, a resident stood up to hold him to account, and they called the police. She is fortunate that our new council is far more tolerant and flexible, and allowed her the courtesy of finishing what she was saying, despite the fact it wasn't relevant to council business. Some of the issues that occurred under her chairmanship and also vice chairmanship were things like the Bristol Road residential development, where the chair and vice chair of Portishead Town Council were liaising with an outside investor to develop land at Bristol Road, greenbelt land, and massive development which our town has seen enough of.